write the story of our world every day. Listen and your heart may open up. If ever you feel frightened of our world that's washed away, a mother is a mother, come to us. Women, 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 women. Women sew the fabric of our world every day. History of violence made it through. The stories that we share will live on until we say these truths are our gifts passed on to you.
Welcome to tonight's hashtag 101 Night Show. I'm Lisa Liebau, co-founder and president of the Scheherazade Project, a women's activism through storytelling arts movement that uses the power of art, creativity, solidarity, and courage in promoting social justice, nourishing our spirits, and enabling a more beloved community. We're more than halfway through our Election Day countdown with creativity. We've been showcasing our strong voices to encourage all Americans to use their voices in the most important way, vote. Join us live every night, 8 p.m. Eastern, or watch previous episodes by visiting YouTube, Facebook, and IGTV. Tonight's featured artist is Flose LaPierre, a Haitian-born poet and writer. Flose's work appears in American Way magazine, Zora magazine, Cathexis Northwest Press, Ghost City Press, and South Florida Poetry Journal. Flose teaches a workshop, Write to Heal, which uses writing as an outlet for dealing with trauma. It's my pleasure to bring to you Flose LaPierre.
Hi, my name is Flose LaPierre. I am a spoken word poet, and I'm excited to share my poem, March on Sister, with you this evening. It is inspired by Malala Yousafzai. This morning, I heard the loud pitter-patter of feet in the sand. Little brown feet holding young girls with power on their shoulders, trekking on a mission. I ran quickly. I wanted answers. Such young girls with so much power whirling in those little bodies, but they're being pushed deeper and deeper into the quicksand, yet they're marching on and upward. Why are you marching, Blessed? I asked the leader. She looked at me. Little brown eyes against a silky dark complexion. She looked inside of me and told me a story that went something like this. I was born committed, chained to a prison cell because biology made me a woman. So this society, this culture told my friends and me that we won't make it past water wells in raising children. No books for a young girl, no Plato, no Aristotle, no chasing the sun and offering my own theory because I am a young girl. See, my mind isn't a place for intellectual growth. It is a destination for a man to place his weapon. Not a temple to be adored and worshipped, but a temple for the butt of a gun and fear. So fire! Fire! I watched them fire bullets into our minds. Compact silver shots of manipulation, transplanting colonized ideals into our bodies. Raping us silently, birthing more like them and more unlike us, more silent women, more placid women, more and more and more until time rids our world of young women like me. Young women who are willing to fly to space without a spaceship if it'll help us advance. My sister Malala, she will tell you how she arrived on the moon. Malala, she will tell you how she stood up against a man in white who pointed the face of a gun right in the middle of her world. He lifted the weapon, brought it in between her eyes, and he fired. He fired. He fired the gun. He wanted to see her intellect. He wanted it to bleed onto the bus floor, and he accomplished it. Her education began to flow out of her like red. It flowed and flowed and flowed onto that bus floor because that man knew the power of a young girl with a passion for learning. But God saved her. God saved my sister Malala because she was to educate a nation. That is why I march. That is why we march. But why do you march? I continued to ask like a puzzled CNN reporter. Why do you march? It is simple, she said. I march for the education of my sisters, but also of my brothers who are victim to humanity's lack of fight for our advancement. I march because I'm going to make it beyond the four corners of a kitchen. I march because my destiny does not solely lie in that of my husband's, though it may if I so choose. I march because my children will not be caved in by insecurity and poverty of the mind. My brothers and sisters all over the world, victim to miseducation, will not perish while I shine. I am not a dying fish without a brain looking for the easy way out. No, I have seen the light and I know how to lead the way. So I march. Every day with my sisters, hand in hand, I march. And we will continue to march until our footprints burn through concrete walls and bring the system on its back. Because we are young girls to be women and mothers if we choose. And we deserve to be educated. We have every right to seek the light equally among our brothers. And that's when Blessed turned to me, with little brown almond eyes rayed in strength, and politely asked, "Well, why aren't you marching?" Thank you so much for spending time with me this evening, for listening in as I recite March on Sister, which was inspired by Malala Yousafzai. My hope is that this poem inspires you to register to vote, to go out there to vote by mail, and really to be an active change maker in your community and in your life, however that looks for you. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Thanks for joining the sisters tonight. If you've joined us other nights, I'm sure you too are impressed by the diversity of storytellers' approaches. Some have created new work for their night's performance, others have shared previous work, but all have signed on to support us by sharing their voices. By the time we reach November 2nd, the eve of the 2020 election day, all eligible voters will be ready to raise their voices too, in the most important way of all. Go vote, everyone.
Come to us, women, 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 women. Women sew the fabric of our world every day. History of violence made it through. The stories that we share will live on, and so we say these truths are our gifts passed on to you.